gosh, you guys, I'm so excited. This is the author spotlight, the second one we're doing. And I've got 3 authors from the group that are active members. Now, if you, I think the instructions say on the post that you have to kind of sign in with your name in order for me to see who you are, because this is through StreamYard. And so unless you gave me your name, I won't know. It'll just say like StreamYard user or something, which is fine too, but I just won't be able to know who you are. So if you didn't sign in with your name, drop on the comments. If you want me to know who you are to talk to you, then I'll do that. So for those who don't know me, I'm Rebecca. I'm the admin founder of the group, Urban Romance Fantasy Paranormal Romance Book Lovers. I always say that like really fast, 10 times fast. It's a tongue twister. But anyways, yeah, so we started doing these spotlights for authors in the group to give them, oh, I look nice tonight. Thank you. My mom gave me this and we're the same like size, so we can like share clothes. It's really nice. Thank you. Okay, so I started doing these spotlights where authors who are interested sign up to come on here, and I look through who's requested to do it, and I look at how active they are in the group and how positive they are, and usually, actually, so far I haven't read any of their books, until like when I picked them, I hadn't read their book. And then I try to read a few chapters at least before I do one of these. You guys know I read a lot, so I do the best that I can do. But anyways, yeah, so this is just an opportunity for them to come on and tell us a little bit about themselves as a person, as an author, their book, whatever. Each of them spend about 5 to 7 minutes, so that way the whole thing's not really more than 30 minutes. But at the end, what we'll do is we'll bring everybody on and we'll answer questions. If you have any questions for them, they're going to tell you about their Facebook groups or their TikTok handles or whatever, newsletters or whatever information that they have, they want, share with you. And we're going to drop things in the comments too. So this is it's literally called a spotlight, just so that they can, get the word out about their books, because we love authors in this group and we want to support them. So that's what we're here for. All right. Yay. I'm so excited. So first up is Amy Bernstein. I'm going to go ahead and pull her in. Here we go.
Hey.
Hey, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited.
Oh, Becca, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. It's really fantastic. You're very generous and it's so appreciated.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just love books and I love authors and I'm just passionate and whatever it is what it is. But yeah, no worries. I'm just happy that you're here. So thanks for being here.
Me too.
Okay. All right. So we want to know, we want to know the goods. What kind of author are you? What do you write? What books have you published? What's your deal?
I am one of those authors. I absolutely refuse to pick a lane. So I keep finding stories that I want to tell, and then the genre comes afterwards. And it's so much fun exploring different genres to tell different stories. But The Nighthawkers, for sure, which came out early this month, is a paranormal romance. You could call it an urban fantasy romance. Sometimes it's hard to find the right box to put the stories in. But I'm so happy to be here to talk about that book and share it with people. And there's more coming down the pipe.
That's awesome. So now I got a little bit of the book today. There's a sample you can get on Amazon. So that's always nice that you can kind of get a sneak peek like that.
Look inside feature, yes.
Mm-hmm. It's actually more than a look inside, I think. It downloaded as a proper sample onto my Kindle.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I took a little bit of peek of it today, and I noticed one of the things I noticed about it was that at the very beginning, you have a dean archaeologist, and her name is India Nojes. So I did the little, what's it called, an anagram when you switch the letters around? I don't know. So I didn't tell you before you came on.
Tell me, what did you come up with, Becca? What did you come up with?
Well, Indiana Jones, of course.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding. You just got the only gold star in the universe, because no one has found that Easter egg before you. I have hardly shared it with anyone. You got it. Gold star, big gold star. Yes, you're right.
That's awesome. Yeah, my husband is a diehard Indiana Jones fan. So like as soon as I saw lead, kick butt archaeologist and then India, and I was like, and then I just
right.
Cool.
Yes,
cool.
That's
so
right.
What's the story? What's the story about it in the book? And that's your go ahead.
No. So this is about an archaeologist That's not the dean. The archaeologist's name is Pauline. An archaeologist who must choose between her handsome first lover and the irresistible stranger who helps her discover a powerful destiny. And I like to say that it's really a story about feeling lost and learning that you cannot find the right partner until you know yourself. So it really is a story about feeling lost and really finding yourself, with love along the way, of course.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really good. So I noticed that are they graduate students in the book? Like, what's the age?
Yes. So at the beginning, yes, they're like early to mid 20s and they're just coming out with their master's degrees. And there's a lot of stuff that they're still figuring out. And that's part of the journey that they take.
Okay, cool. And is that like, so you said this one came out recently, you said, right?
This was released the first week of June. It's everywhere. I have to say, I've been really encouraged by the reviews. People are calling it page turner, can't put it down. I'm really happy about that. Twists and turns. Somebody said that it's Indiana Jones crossed with Lara Croft. And I think that's maybe a bit of a big claim to make, because it is a romance novel. So, there is that. But there definitely are some twists along the way, and a lot of archaeology and artifacts and some kind of very interesting discoveries and magical things that happen.
That's cool.
Time travel.
Oh, I love time travel. That's one of the reasons why I love the Cassie Palmer series so much, with all the time travel. It's just, I think it's so cool when authors throw that in and then seeing how it all connects and stuff. It's pretty neat. So, so you said romance. You know what I'm going to ask you, right? Like, what's the steam like?
I think it's sort of medium. This is the first time that I've written somewhat explicit sex scenes. My gosh, that was fun. Like, you kind of have to feel what you're writing. Like, you have to enter into the scene with the characters, and if you can't feel it along with them, I don't think you're writing a convincing sex scene. So I knew that when if I'm feeling just a little bit hot and bothered when I'm writing it, I'm like, oh yeah, I think I'm there. I think I got it. So, but it's not erotica, and it's not super explicit. I would say that it is moderately explicit.
Okay, cool. I always wonder about authors with that, because some obviously feel pretty uncomfortable doing it, but then some are like what you just said, like it's like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, you got to go there, and it's really fun. And also, I mean, you can't. It's hard to write about relationships without building that in, right? I mean, come on, these are people with they're sexual beings, and it's going to be part of what both brings them together, and shall I say, messes them up too. So
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so what about your other books that you have out? Do you have any other that fall kind of under the group umbrella, or even if they don't, if you want to talk about them, that's okay too.
Right. So, this is the thing about being a multi-genre author. So I do have a mystery thriller coming out in August, which is a really different kettle of fish. What I will say is that the thing that works across all my books, and then I have a YA urban fantasy coming out in September, which I think a lot of folks who follow this Facebook group might really like, because it's about a half human, half mermaid girl, teenager who gets into an awful lot of trouble and has to find herself and is on the run, and it's quite a kind of a wild story. But in August, before that, is the Potrero Complex, which is a mystery thriller that's pretty dark and also has some twists and surprises toward the end, but not. There's a little romance in it, but it's not a romance.
Oh, cool. As soon as she said mermaid, I was like, I love
mermaids. Yes. No, I mean, like, she's got this half mermaid, that she's got a whole ancient culture, and they've got a special language and special rituals, and she's being hunted by some really bad people who think she has magic harbored in her DNA, and she has to escape from them. So it's kind of an adventure story in a way. It's cool, with a happy ending.
Okay, so we're running out of time, but is there how did you start writing? Do you have any kind of special story?
I was a professional nonfiction writer for a long time, made my living doing it, speech writing, journalism, all the things that you do on the nonfiction side. And I woke up that day and I said, it is time. It is past time. Start writing fiction. And so I did.
Awesome. Well, we're glad for it. So, okay, cool. Well, I'm going to bring you back on. Is there anything else you want to say before? And you can always add some more.
Just that, please, you can please find my books at amywrites.live. Amy, AMYWRITES.live. And you can sign up for my newsletter and get a free gift. And you can find out about all the books there.
Awesome. And then if you drop, you can go ahead and drop any links you want in the comments to anything of yours. You know, if you have a Facebook group or a TikTok handle or a newsletter or your website or anything you want to do, just go ahead and drop them in the comments for people.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, cool. And the name of your books too. Drop them in the comments as well.
Thank you.
So, all right. Okay. Well, I'll talk to you here in a little bit. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
No worries. Okay. It's always like, I'm trying not to make it, I don't know, like I'm trying not to like interview, but at the same time, I'm trying to like, I'm just trying to give them a spotlight to talk, and it's cool to talk. I don't know. I'm just silly. All right, moving on. Oh my goodness. Stephanie, you're coming in. I know you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
I promise I haven't had too much of this. I promise I haven't. But before we get going, I'm going to steal like 10 seconds of your limelight.
You got it. I just want to like rub that belly.
Sorry, this is my little guy, Bear.
Well, I was looking around because I think the dog or the cat just pushed my door open. So I'm like, which one of you's in here with me? But I don't see him yet. Oh, okay. He's so cute.
I couldn't help it. Okay. All right. Whew. Okay. So I have read a little bit of, oh my gosh, your first book, your series that's got like 7, I want to say Wings and Fire or Wings and what is it called? Yes, I got it right. Oh my gosh.
You got it.
I got the Indiana Jones reference and then the name of that's amazing. I started reading it last night. I actually read quite a bit of it, about 30% of it. And it's an urban fantasy. It's a kick, and she's kick butt in it.
I hope so.
Yeah. And I like, can I say what she turns into? Is that too much?
Yeah. No, okay. Go for it.
She's a phoenix. Like I was like, oh, that's really cool. And you talk about like how sometimes phoenixes, sometimes they get tired of their life. I guess they live so long and they decide to fly into the sun. Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of cool. I was into that too. And then the main okay, I couldn't tell. Is the main MC a Grim Reaper or is he?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I assumed he was the love interest, but I wasn't entirely certain. So, so tell us about it. Tell us a little bit more.
Yes, it's an urban fantasy, but I'm really trying to push this new kind of like subgenre called urban fantasy romance because I kind of fit in between. Like, and I feel like KF Breen's Demigod series and her is it DDVN, the Demon Days Vampire Nights, is also urban fantasy romance. Like, it doesn't quite meet the tropes of traditional paranormal romance. Right. Because it's got a little bit more of the action and adventure and storylines that are unique to urban fantasy. So right. I'm trying to like push that subgenre a little bit, just because I don't quite fit into paranormal romance, and it's a little too much romance for traditional urban fantasy fans.
Yeah, but I think that's sort of perfect, to be honest.
I love it.
I came from a UF background. A lot of people don't, because I do so many like reviews now. People see, they hear me talk about the romance and the steam so much. But like, I'm a diehard UF lover. I'm a big Kate Daniels lover, Mercy Thompson lover. The Hollows. So when I was reading yours, it was like it's right up there. I mean, the writing is really good.
Thank you.
I don't think I found one typo in the first 30% of it, and I wasn't looking for them. But like, it was really super, super good. So
I have a weird. This is my like weird thing to put in tonight. My little quirk about me, but I have an insane attention to detail, which I recently, sorry, I'm going to throw this in too. Recently, as in last year, got diagnosed with ADHD and autism. So it's like, oh, this makes perfect sense. So I'm very anal about details.
It's good. It's really, really good. A lot of times, a lot of the books I'll pick up because they're so new and they're not as polished yet. You just see them, right? And I'm not a typo snob. It doesn't bother me. I just like move on. But yeah, it was really well written, up there. Definitely Kate Daniels caliber. I thought I thought it was up there. Really good. And I was really good and only stopped because it was time to go to bed. So I tell you what, though, I'm really interested in is, and I don't know if he plays a role in the series. I mean, you have a bunch of books, so maybe he does, is the dude that hired her at the beginning. Apparently he's like sadistic and he might want her for other things. I don't know. So, that's my paranormal romance hat coming on. I don't know if that goes anywhere, but I was like,
You will see him in a few books. So yes, that
Okay.
he does come into play.
Okay, cool. Awesome. And you have okay, give us a description of what the series is about, because I kind of just steamrolled you on that.
Yeah, no. So Wings of Fire is the first one. It's called the Last Phoenix series. And I say that because Wings of Fire is also the series name of like a children's YA, maybe middle grade, like dragon series. So it may not come up first time. I'm working on that, but it's a very popular children's series. So it's called The Last Phoenix, but it's basically a part-time barista, part-time shape-shifting thief who finds herself in hot water for committing a crime she didn't actually commit, and she gets framed for a murder she didn't commit. So she has to convince the super sexy death enforcement agent who is trying to track her down that she's innocent, and enlist his help to try and track down the real person who's responsible. But what happens is the more she digs into everything, and this goes throughout all 7 books, she like more secrets come out, and she has to dig deeper, and then she realizes like there's a lot of secrets about her life that she didn't realize. So it kind of builds all the way through until the last book.
And I really like that she's the last Phoenix, or at least right now, at the very
beginning.
Like, right now, I really like that she's the last Phoenix. That's really cool. And obviously, we find another Phoenix, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's another one. But yeah, I really was into it. Am into it. I am going to finish it. So for sure.
I hope so.
Yeah, I just haven't,
But I mean, you have a lot to read, so
I do read a few. We joke about it, the moderators and I, in the group, about it's ridiculous how many books. But anyways, so and then you have another series, right?
Yes, it's right now it's just 3 books. I am toying with the idea. I'm definitely going to do a 4th book, but it's the first 3 kind of end on a good note. So it's not like a cliffhanger or anything like that. It's just there's one teeny tiny little thread that I kind of left open, if you're really paying attention, that I can use for a 4th book. But it's called, this is the 3rd book, Curse of the Vampire, Immortal Relics. It's a little bit more like new adult age-wise, like she's in college, she's an archaeologist. So it's mythology. It's Roman mythology in this one with gods. And this one's more Russian mythology. I studied classics, ancient mythology in college. So instead of learning Latin, I was daydreaming.
Wow. And you've been writing for how long, and what got you started, into writing?
I have been wanting to be a writer since I was little. Like my parents said, they joke that I learned to read before I could speak. I've always loved writing. I have friends from elementary school who are like, I remember you wanted to be an author, and I was, going to edit for you and stuff like that. But, life gets in the way. I kind of figured it wasn't something I could actually do. And I just kept putting it off. And then I became a stay-at-home mom almost 5 years ago. 5 years ago, this month, 5 years ago. And a year later, I was like, ooh, I have like these little pockets of time I didn't have before, and I didn't have the stress of my corporate life anymore. And I was like, I can do this. So I just went gung-ho and published 10 in the last 3 years.
Wow.
I just have to get them out.
Wow. That's awesome. So how quickly do you crank out a book then, like each one?
So I did the first 3 in 1 year, and then I did 6 of The Last Phoenix last year. 5 of The Last Phoenix last year. So I was able to do 5 last year. This year's a little bit slower, just lots of ups and downs in life. But I have a book coming out in an anthology that was supposed to come out this September, but Amazon did its thing and canceled the pre-order. So we lost all 2,500 pre-orders. Just got our new link up, and we pushed out our release date till February. So that release is gonna.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's such a bummer.
That stinks. I've heard a couple things like that happening, but
it does. It happens more than it should, right? But we're working through it. So yeah, that's the Rejected Mates anthology.
Oh, there you go.
On Amazon.
Got it. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to say before? And I'll bring you back at the end. And Amy, by the way, you fell out of the studio, so you have to come back on for me to pull you in at the end if you're still watching. Okay.
I will say I'm just really proud of this. So I actually just found out, and I think someone on the last StreamYard said this as well. So I'm excited to connect with her. But Wings of Fire is a Roan finalist as well for
That was
the
Jen
fantasy
Michaels, I
category.
think.
So
Yeah.
I'm super excited. So she was a Roan finalist for, I think, a short story category. I can't quite remember what hers was, but yeah, so there's that connection. More authors, you know, in the Roan Awards. That's by In Detail magazine. So I was really, really proud of the book for that.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
right. Well, congratulations. That's
Thank
really
you.
cool. Okay. All right. I'm going to pull in Kennedy now. Thanks for being on and talking to us.
Thank you so much.
All right. And I'll pull you in just a little bit after Kennedy.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right. Okay, this guy, oh my gosh, he is so hot. He's really hot on my lap. So I'm like, I'm going to give him a little bit of air. But like, come on, you guys. Sorry, I'm just stealing the time. I just can't help it. His name's Bear. He looks like a little bear. Guys, I can't help it. I love this guy so much. All right, let's get Kennedy. Kennedy, you got some stiff competition here with the puppy.
I mean, I like to think I'm pretty cute, but
you are, that little pixie haircut. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Kennedy, you have a book dropping tomorrow.
I have my very first debut novel dropping tomorrow. That is The Sneaky Lass.
Yay! And it's a pirate romance.
It is a golden age of piracy, historical romance with fantasy elements.
I love it, and that's why it skirts under the group umbrella with the.
I just barely slide under. I just barely slide under the umbrella. I always figured that the Venn diagram of people who read fantasy and people who read pirates is almost a circle, and so here I am.
Yeah,
and I joined this group. This group is actually what got me to publish. I joined the sister group, the Authors Corner group. And I told them, like, I have these 8 books that I really love and feel passionate about, but I don't know if I'm ever going to publish. And so many people, Ren Michaels, among many others, were like, what do you mean you're not going to publish? You have 8 books. Why aren't you going to publish? And they put me in contact with my cover artist. They put me in contact with my editor. Like,
I didn't know
I couldn't have done it without this group. So
I didn't know any of that. That blows my mind. That makes me feel like I'm going to tear up a little bit. That makes me feel, wow.
Yeah, this group is the reason my books are available tomorrow. Like
to think that that I opened up the group back August, a year ago, and it was just 15 of my friends. I feel like I'm saying this all the time, and it's grown to what it is. And then like we make the sister group, and then oh my gosh, like guys, I'm a nightmare. That's amazing. So I just have to say, I've done several TikTok videos about your book, like today already. I really like it.
I am so glad.
Yeah, I
see a user comment here asking if I got to 1,000 pre-orders. I went super viral on TikTok last week because this mom at my toddler's gymnastics class was really mean to me and said I would never sell 40 copies. And so I went to TikTok and I said, I have 39 pre-orders. Can you guys get me to 41 so I can rub it in this lady's face? And now I'm up to 946 pre-orders on my debut novel.
TikTok is so powerful. It
really is. And it's such a good community. It reminds me a lot of this group. I think there's a lot of overlap on Book Talk in this group.
Yeah. I think so it drops tomorrow, but Kennedy sent it to me early in case I wanted, because I really had no way to read it right before the spotlight. And I try to read a little bit of every, book. And so I dived into it. It's the writing's excellent, beautiful writing. But I think the reason why I'm so moved and I got a little speechless a second ago and I've done the videos is because, it is a female male romantic couple. Okay. They're the main couple. But the LGBTQ themes it's so meaningful and it's so impactful. And it's just, I'm just a little bit blown away by it, to be honest. So I think I'm just going to shut up now. I'm going to let you talk, but I think, Thanks, girl. And to think that you got it from my group, like
I did. I met everybody who put me in, because I just felt so overwhelmed by the idea of publishing. And to anybody, I know there's so many writers in this group, and we have people coming to the Authors Corner group all the time, just going, where do I start? And that's exactly where I was 4 months ago. 4 months ago, I didn't have any social media presence. I had no intention to publish. And I showed up in that group and went, I've written some books, and people they made it happen for me. And everybody's so willing to help one another. And it's really something.
Yeah.
And that's been such a really, writing these books and publishing these books has been so powerful for me, because I felt really lost before I started doing it. And so I'd become a mother, and my path to motherhood was really fraught. We had to do IVF. We suffered through losses, and I started writing these characters while my son was just a little bitty baby, and I felt so overwhelmed and alone, and it wasn't anything that I was expecting it to be. And I started writing these books, and it felt like they became my friends, and that became who I was. And so then for people to say, like, I really want to read your book, and for people to push me to publish them and think that it's a good story and think that it's a powerful story, that makes me all teary-eyed.
Yeah, it's, it's really about, in my opinion, it's really about the fact that you love someone for their soul.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the theme that I see. It's really, I'm just going to go ahead and say, so there's a prostitute who's trying to escape her life. She's had a really rough life, and she dresses up as a boy, and she goes on a pirate ship, and she is pretending to be a boy pirate. And then there's the captain of the ship, and the captain thinks she's a boy, but is taken with her. And, it's he likes women too. He likes both. But it's just such a neat spin on that whole, the whole kind of Mulan, right, where they're dressed up, and then having a love story. Because usually what happens, right, with the Mulan love story is the girl falls in love with the guy, but the guy just thinks of her as a guy. He doesn't have
Captain Bennett Holt falls hard and fast for her
as a boy.
As a boy first. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so there's some quotes in there and some things in there, and I'm just like, wow, this is really about, I know everyone has, I don't want to open up that whole can of worms. It's controversial, all that, whatever. But it just really is about someone falling in love with someone's soul. And that's why I got touched and moved. That's why I did the TikToks. I didn't expect that. You sent it to me. I did not expect that. So, good job, girl. And you're already got all those pre-orders. So good for you. And it drops tomorrow. I
get teary-eyed and overwhelmed every time I think about how 940 some people are going to get my book on their e-readers tonight. It blows me away. And there are 8 books in this series. They're already written. I'm releasing them as fast as I can get them edited. And the fact that many people are going to read book 1 and hopefully love book 1 and then read book 2, it just feels very serendipitous and amazing. And I can't believe it happened to me, because this doesn't happen to anybody.
Yeah. So which is awesome. Well, congratulations. Is there anything else? I didn't mean to go on and on and on. I kind of couldn't help myself, but is there anything else that you wanted to talk about, or?
It's really all about this book. I know that it's not, I only have the one out. Book 2's coming out in August, and I'm really excited for everyone to read them. You can find me on TikTok. I'm posting there all the time under author Kennedy Sutton. I have a website of the same name, KennedySutton.com, www.KennedySutton.com. And I'm going to be selling signed paperbacks if you end up reading it and really liking it through my Etsy shop. And that'll be up on my website too, starting Friday. So
awesome.
That's what I got going on.
We started off that way, but we should say one more time. It's called a fantasy romance, but really the fantasy elements is that it's in a kind of a world that's different from ours. There's not fantasy creatures in it. I know.
It's not Peter Pan pirates.
It's not Peter Pan, not Tinkerbell, not mermaids,
closer to Pirates of the Caribbean.
So it just barely skirted under the
does.
group umbrella, girl.
It's under there.
Yeah, but yeah, that's good. That's
Yes,
good.
thanks for having me. I feel like I tricked everyone into showing up and hearing about it.
You're like,
But
surprise, I'm here.
yeah, surprise!
Yeah,
It's a historical romance. Like I often tell people, it's kind of like Outlander. It's like it has a couple of those fantasy elements, but it's a historical romance.
Yeah, and boy, and we gotta click off here, but bring everybody else back in. But the research is like I was like all the different boat terms. I had no idea there was that many boat terms. I'm just you need to put a glossary at the front.
I do. You said that, and I was like, should have included a picture.
Yeah, next time.
The people at the Tall Ship Museum near my house let me in for free now. They know who I am. And the lady at the Naval Conservatory and Museum, she's in their research section. Her name's Gail. She's wonderful. She gets really irritated with me because I call her all the time and have her copy me stuff all the time.
That's well, it's good. Good that you do your homework and that she's helping. That's awesome. All right, we're gonna pull them in. Okay, Amy, Stephanie, you guys are coming. All right. Hello. Ta-da.
Should have shown.
Yeah.
Should have shown my book.
Beautiful cover.
Beautiful cover. Okay,
Thank
guys.
you.
So what did I miss? What did we miss that you would have liked to say in each of those? Anything that you want to talk about your books or?
Yeah, I want to take TikTok lessons from Kennedy.
Yeah,
Guys,
seriously.
I'm not joking. I say this all the time. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it again. Jasmine Mass. She made a bunch of TikToks 2 months before her first book she ever wrote. She's 24 years old. I don't know if I can say that. Crap. Sorry, Jasmine, if I'm not supposed to say that. But she's a youngin'. She's new at this. She did a whole bunch of TikTok videos, and then boom, she had all these people pre-ordering and buying it as soon as it hit day. I mean, TikTok can be super powerful. So yeah,
it's the only way I'm selling my books. It's really the only social media I'm on.
Yeah, it's I was kind of shocked. I was kind of late to the game. I do book talking on there now, just to kind of spread the love on books. But yeah, super powerful. So definitely get on there, Amy, for sure.
Well, I'm doing Instagram reels, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah. I'll follow you if you make a TikTok.
I'll follow you.
Thank you.
I think people just get in TikTok and they just can't get out, right? Like
That's my problem.
Yeah.
It's all on the rabbit hole. And I'm like, wait, I've been on here for 2 hours. What am I doing?
I did that. I was doing that last night, and then I'm laying on my couch, literally, scrolling, and then I just made a video. I was like, I made a joke about it. I was like, I didn't mean to. I was like, dang, the filters, even show that you're tired. I'm tired or something. And I was like, and I need to get off of TikTok and start reading my damn book. It's just, it's fun to make them, but and fun to be scrolling. But yeah, they can get addictive.
It's a time suck.
Yeah. So, and Stephanie, you've been on there for a while? TikTok?
I have, but I do bursts. Like I'll get really motivated to do them and put a whole bunch out, and then I just kind of fade away, and then it just keeps doing that. So maybe someday, but I haven't figured out a good schedule of like making videos. And I think it's partly I'm a perfectionist, so it's really hard for me to like they have to be perfect.
Oh, just do them on the fly. And they don't. Like the ones that do really well are usually the ones that are like
really? I know.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I make the crappiest Instagram reels, and I've decided that that's going to be part of my brand. It's like, you know what? This is a crappy reel, but I said what I had to say. I show you what I had to show you, and here it is. It's done. It's not beautifully edited. It's not well lit. It's not seamless, but here it is anyway. Because if I hold out, I'll never make it.
No, people love the authentic experience on TikTok. Yeah. That's what
I was telling my editor, because she was talking about getting on Book Talk to talk up her editing game, because she does just like, she's with an editing house, but she also does freelance work with indies on the side. And I was like, you've got to do it. And she was like, well, how do I get people to follow me? And I said, well, my tactic so far has been every day to show up and be like, do you guys like pirates? I write about pirates. And that's kind of like my whole game.
Yeah.
The hashtags are important. Yeah. And then doing a bunch of videos is important. Like just do in short ones, long ones, medium size, just do a bunch. Like a lot of people worry about when to post them. Don't just throw a bunch on there.
Yeah.
And then the hashtags, and then people will eventually, it just takes that one video, right? I did a controversial video a month ago. I'm still getting some hate on the comments. I basically called out book bashing. I basically said it's absolutely ridiculous to book bash. There's no reason why authors should get 0 stars. And
Right.
you get the people that say, "Oh, you're censoring," and blah, blah. I'm like, dude, it's not about that. It's about being respectful to the author, and you can write a negative review, but you can do it in a respectful way. You can do criticism. I choose not to do that. It's not who I am. But there's a way to be nice about it. But just to get on there, like be a book talk, like this lady went on there and she just bashed Zodiac Academy. She just said it wasn't worth 0 stars. And she said all these horrible things about it. And it's like, this is a best-selling series. Like, it's obviously not worth 0 stars, guys.
You can always just say it's not for me.
And just say it's not for me.
Away.
And don't rate it, don't whatever, that's fine. It's not for me, because not every book is for everyone. That's kind of like the foundation of this group, right? That's what I'm saying all of the time. That's why we're
don't yuck anyone's yum.
Yeah, that's right. It's, not every book is for everyone. So yeah, but it just takes that one video and then. So anyways, well, cool. Awesome. This has been fun. I've had a good time talking to each of you and getting to know each of you.
Yeah. So, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Becca, so much. And it was amazing to hear about you, Stephanie and Kennedy, incredible success. And I just wish you such good luck. Well, not just luck, but skill. Congratulations.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. And then actually, I was about to sign off, but I haven't even looked at the comments. Have you guys been reading the comments this whole time?
I have been.
I have, but I don't think there were any questions that weren't answered.
Yeah. Someone asked me how many pre-orders I got. I told them.
Okay. There you go. Oh, we got to preach for my last comment. Someone's making fun of the fact that I'm in the middle of 20 different series. That is correct. I am in the middle of 20 different series. Like halfway through book 2, book 3, book 4, and different. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I'll get to them eventually. Let's see. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like that's pretty good then. All right, guys.
Thanks
for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. No, thanks for coming. And I'll see you around in the group.
See you on the group.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.